word others and society would be often mentioned on our lesson for today. Okay? So before I reveal our lesson for today, I want us to have a quick activity or a short activity. Now for this activity, I'm going to show you a photo. Okay? And in this photo, I want you to put yourself in a situation that you are the neighbor of this lady wearing blue. Okay? Now, this new neighbor that you have just moved in. It's already bedtime, and some of you are already asleep in your house. And you heard a very loud noise coming from their house. That's why you decided to go there, come by, and check on them. And upon checking on them, this is the situation that you had witnessed or experienced. Okay? So from this photo, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Now these are the questions that I'm going to ask. First, what would be your impression on her? Your new neighbor, which is the lady in blue. Okay? Now, based from that, how would you feel about her situation? How would you feel about her? Would you be mad? Okay, because it's already bedtime and they're still having some noises around their house. How would you feel about her and her situation? In that situation. Now, last but not the least, how could you assure yourself that those impressions or the feeling that you have towards that experience or towards that situation is valid or real? 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, I'm going to call on 2 volunteers to present their answers. Okay? Okay, time's up. We already had 5 minutes. Now, who would like to be the volunteer? Yes, we have neighbor Jenna. Okay? Neighbor Jenna, first question. What would be your impression on the lady wearing blue? Okay, very good. She may be a single mother, yes, who's trying to raise her 3 kids on her own. Okay? And she's also starting a new life, that's why they transferred home. Okay, that might be your impression. Now, based from that impression, how would you feel about her and towards the situation or experience? Yes, very nice. Okay? You may have the feeling of compassion towards her. Okay? You may have a feeling of understanding that her situation might be very hard for her and very new to her. That's why, how would you feel about that experience? Would you be angry? Yes. Okay. You may not be angry because you will try to understand her situation. But, for our last question, how would you know that your impression on her, which is a single mother, and the emotions that you have towards her, which is the feeling of compassion, is valid or true or real? How would you be able to know? Yes, very good, Jenna. Okay? So, you may get to know her and talk to her or interact with her. Very good. So, that's what you're going to do. Now, let's hear it from another neighbor. Another volunteer? Yes. Okay, neighbor Jerome. Neighbor Jerome. So the first question is, what is your impression about this lady there? Okay. It may be different from Jenna. Yes, it may be different. She may be, a widower. Okay. A widower, but very good. Okay. Very good observation. And also, somehow, had the same observation with Jenna. that she may be starting a new life with her kids. That's why she transferred home. So that may be your impression. Now, based from that impression, let's go on with the second question. How would you feel about her and towards the situation that you walked in? Yes. Okay. That is how you would feel about her. Yes. Almost the same with Jenna, which is compassion, or you may pity her. Very good. Okay. How would you feel about the situation? Would you be mad at her? Okay. So almost the same with Jenna. You would be trying to understand her. Okay. Yes. And also, very good. You would also try to put yourself in her shoes if you were in her shoes. Okay. So, which brings us to our last question. What would you do to assure or to validate the impression that you have on her and the feelings or emotions that you have towards the situation? Okay. So, you have the same answer with Jenna, that you would try to get to know her and talk to her. Very good observations and evaluations. Now, based from this activity, we may say that interacting with others, because you have mentioned earlier that for you to confirm the validity of your impressions on your new neighbor, okay, you would talk to her. Okay? You would try to communicate the feelings and thoughts that you have. You will try to get to know her and interact with her. Okay? So from this activity, we may say that interacting with others can confirm or help us validate the impressions, the thoughts, the feelings that we have towards our environment, or what is happening in our environment, what we experience every day. Okay? And in this interaction or social interaction, there is what we call intersubjectivity that takes place. And that would be our discussion for today. This would be our topic for today. And by the end of this lesson, we have here our learning objectives. By the end of the lesson, we would be able to define and explain the meaning and processes on intersubjectivity. Another, by the end of this lesson, we may be able to discuss the application and importance of intersubjectivity to society. Number 3, by the end of the lesson, we would be able to explain how authentic dialogue means accepting others, even if they are different from you. And last but not the least, by the end of this lesson, we would demonstrate appreciation for the talents of persons with disabilities and those from the underprivileged sectors of society. Okay? So let's start with defining the concept of intersubjectivity. Or what is the meaning of intersubjectivity? Okay? Have you heard about this word or just now? Okay. So, first question, is intersubjectivity a compound word? Yes. Okay. Very good, Jerome. Intersubjectivity is a compound word which was derived from which word was it driven? Okay, yes, Don. Very good. Subjectivity. Okay. And subjectivity means what? Okay. If we would define subjectivity, it means based on or influenced by personal feelings, taste, or opinion, which was then added with the prefix inter, which means between, or in this concept, we would use it as share. Okay, so if you would put them together, intersubjectivity. imply a meaning of shared influence or shared personal feeling, taste, or opinion. Let us understand more about intersubjectivity. Why is there a need for us to learn about intersubjectivity? Well, each of us, we have a subjective experience of the world. Or each of us, although we may have the same experience, but we have our different, or we have our own interpretations, own feeling towards that experience that we have or we encounter. Like in this example, person I and person you may have the same experience of seeing this chair. However, person I may have a different feeling, a different perception, or a different interpretation of what he has seen that is different from person you. Okay, it may be different or it may be the same. Okay, so each of us has a subjective experience of the world. That's what we are saying. However, because of this subjective experience, sometimes it's hard for us to determine which events occurs in reality or which is this product of our self-perception or our own interpretation. Okay? Like, again, in this example, person I may see this chair as a brown, old chair. However, person you may see this chair as a old, dirty chair. Okay? So which perception is true? They have the same experience. However, which perception or which interpretation is true? So for them to be able to validate or determine what is real and what is not, they may interact with each other. Okay? They may interact with each other because social interactions among individuals make it easier for them to determine real events that is occurring or real events that they have experienced. Okay? This interaction may be in the form of comparison. Okay? Sometimes we compare our experiences to be able to validate and confirm it. Sometimes, in the light of comparison, we came to an understanding or an agreement that we had the same experience, and in this experience, we also had the same interpretation. However, it may not always be in agreement. Okay? It may also be in disagreement. But the confirmation of others' perceptions help us to determine whether our own perception or subjective experience is real or valid or not. Okay? Now, this concept is what we call intersubjectivity. Okay? It is the shared perception of reality between or among individuals. Okay? Or in simpler terms, it is sharing your thoughts, okay, your consciousness with the other person other than yourself.